What takes place when one of the most influential preachers turns against his own people? Pastor Noel Jones, yes, that Noel Jones has finally spoken out against his famous sister Grace Jones for living a sinful life. The family fight is now the center of attention, setting off shockwaves in the church and the business world. However, believe me when I say that what he said will leave you stunned right now. If you're interested in gospel leaders, famous preachers, and pop culture stars, you already know that Pastor Noel Jones doesn't say things lightly. He has been in ministry and the media for a long time and is the senior pastor of the City of Refuge Church. He is known for his powerful preaching, telling the truth, and not being afraid to talk about sin, even when it affects people close to home. This time, though, the fire from the pulpit wasn't directed at politicians, secular music, or the loss of morals in society. No, this time it was about them. This time it was his sister. Yes, Pastor Noel Jones has spoken out about Grace Jones, the famous singer, model, and actor who is known for her daring style, sexy performances, and courage in being herself. A lot of people think that Pastor Jones's message was a subtle spiritual reprimand. He made it clear that his sister, even though she is loved, is not following God's truth. Then, what did he really say? Was this an attack or a desperate plea for her to change? How did Grace answer? What does this mean for the relationship between the church and worldly entertainment, which is already pretty tense? We're going to talk about this family fight that has become public in today's video. We'll talk about Pastor Jones's shocking comments, their long past together, and the tension between faith and fame. And believe me, you won't believe what we found out behind the scenes. Hold on tight, because we're about to reveal a family story that has effects all over the world where blood, faith, and bravery meet on the world stage. It all began during a talk at the City of Refuge Church in Gardena, California, on a Sunday morning. Pastor Noel Jones walked out on stage with his usual angry attitude. He had a Bible in one hand and a voice that made it clear he wasn't about to play. But the Bible and the Spirit were not the only things that changed. People in the church and some live stream watchers noticed something strange when Pastor Jones started talking about the dangers of celebrity culture, moral compromise, and what he called living for the approval of man instead of the approval of God. When he got more direct and personal, he said, "Just because your blood isn't dirty doesn't mean you're safe. There are people in my close family who have given up the ways of justice for the ways of fame, and they know who they are." It was said that there was a hush in the crowd. Anyone who heard him knew exactly who he was talking about, even though he never said Grace's name. It wasn't possible to zoom in. The band didn't say anything. It was said that even the church mothers looked down at their hands. He went on to say that even though she had been raised in the truth and in holiness, she picked the world, glam, charm, and rebellion. She stood for everything the church tells people not to do. I love her, but I can't agree with sin, even if it runs through my blood. Boom. People all over the world are now sharing that line, even though it's in my own blood. Videos of that event have been shared on gospel blogs, famous news sites, and even TikTok, where users are shocked, confused, and debating the videos in a heated way. So much attention was paid to the moment that Noel Jones versus Grace Jones became a trending topic on Twitter within hours in both gospel and show biz circles. Some people asked, did Pastor Jones just yell at his sister on live stream? While screenshots of their family tree were going around, is this brave truth or breakup with family? Wow. Commending him for standing up for what he believed in despite family ties. Others, though, wondered if this was the right time for a private reprimand instead of a public one. A member of the church for a long time told a gospel podcast, "We love Pastor Jones, but I think this went a little too far." That's his sister. You don't talk badly about family like that, even if she's lost. Everyone is looking at you. Some people had different opinions. One commenter's post that went viral said, "You all say you want the truth until it hits your favorite celebrity." Pastor Jones told it like it was. Even when it came from his own home, he called it sin. However, the question still stands, what made Pastor Noel Jones finally speak out after years of silence? What caused that moment? That answer might lie in what happened just a few days before his lecture. It has to do with Grace Jones and a public appearance that caused a lot of controversy and got everyone talking. But here's the catch. Some say it wasn't just about fame, it was about making fun of the church. That's when things got close. Even though Pastor Noel Jones didn't name names in his sermon, many people in the know think the turning point was Grace Jones's shocking appearance at a recent high-profile European fashion event. This event got a lot of attention around the world, not only for how extravagant it was, but also for what many Christians saw as deeply disturbing symbols. That event? The Paris Avant-Garde Gala in 2025. fashion shows, and performance art that are bold and thought-provoking. Grace Jones, who is 76 years old but still looks fierce, walked the red carpet in an outfit that caused a lot of controversy because it looked like a twisted spoof of church clothes. Think of someone with a bishop's mitre hat, dark leather robes, a staff, and backup dancers dressed like nuns. Grace is said to have played her hit song Corporate Cannibal on stage with religious overtones and video projections of crosses melting and burning. People in the fashion world said it was classic, risky, and full of grace. But the group of Christians, not really. People were very angry on social media. This is sacrilege that looks like art. Grace Jones makes fun of the church. Why does she treat Christians badly all the time when her brother is a pastor? A lot of people think that Pastor Noel Jones's last straw was this act, especially since a lot of people in his church saw the video from the gala just a few days before his explosive talk. Someone from the City of Refuge's media team shared this information without giving their name. They said that people were tagging the church and the bishop and asking him to speak out. They posted clips of Grace's act with captions that made fun of her. He may have thought he had no choice but to finally deal with it, even if it meant talking about family business. Remember, this isn't the first time Grace Jones has played with faith and scandal. A lot of people have been shocked by her work for decades, which combines sexuality, rebellion, performance art, and sacred symbols. She's posed as a holy woman, a goddess, and even a person on the cross in a music video. Today's highly connected world makes everything Grace does go viral, and everything Noel teaches gets clipped, shared, and broken down. The line that used to separate their lives is now open to everyone. Another layer that makes things harder, even though they are brothers, Grace and Noel haven't always been close. They grew up in a strict Pentecostal Jamaican home where their father was the bishop. He was known for being strict and sticking to old strict rules. Grace fought back. Noel became a teacher for the next generation. Grace has hinted at spiritual pain and said that her upbringing was oppressive in the past. It's said that church tried to make her small. That's why I grew bigger than life. Noel, on the other hand, hasn't talked much about his sister in public until now. Many people think that he's not just dealing with her artistic choices, but also the deep, unsolved pain of seeing someone he loves turn down everything he's built his life around. This is how one gospel writer broke it down. It's not just a moral matter, it's about you. It spans generations. It's terrible. These are the prayers of a brother for his sister's soul and of a man of God who wants to keep his church from getting caught up in the circus of star rebellion. Still, was the platform the right place for that kind of argument? Or has Noel made the church the only place he feels like he still has control over the story? Plus, things could be getting even more confusing because Grace could be about to answer, yes. A person who is close to the Jones family says that Grace knows about the talk. She's not taking it lightly. In fact, what she is said to have said behind closed doors is enough to make everyone angry again. There wasn't even time for the internet to calm down before rumors spread that Grace Jones had already heard about her brother's speech. From what people who know the Jones family say, she didn't keep quiet about it. If you know Grace Beverly Jones, you know that she doesn't back down from a fight, especially when her art, freedom, or character are being questioned. She's been in front of the press, journalists, religious groups, and the whole fashion world, and each time she came out even stronger. She is said to have had a few words of her own when she heard that Pastor Noel Jones had indirectly slammed her from the platform. A friend of the singer who spoke to a UK entertainment newspaper on the condition of anonymity said that Grace was angry. She wasn't sad or confused, she was just angry. She told us, "My brother can preach to his flock. He's not my judge, though. In all the lives I've had, I've never lied about being good. I've always been honest." And that's the main idea behind Grace's philosophy. Being honest is better than lying. Noel follows religious rules, but Grace's whole business is based on breaking them. People have told her how great it is that she doesn't feel bad about living her life, but now that life is getting in the way of her brother's holy calling in a way that can't be ignored. Some sources even say that Grace is thinking about answering in public, either in a TV interview or, even scarier, in a new musical show that talks about religious criticism directly. One blog even shared the words to a demo song that was said to be called Bloodline. On that song, she is said to have sang, "They preach love but serve control. They call it God, but what they really sold was fear. I didn't run, I got away from chains. My brother prays while he throws fire." This would be the first time Grace Jones has talked about her relationship with Noel Jones.